Hello and welcome to another episode of Football Everyday, coming to you live and direct as usual from the Stars Studio V here at One Utama. My name is Nelson. Back with us here is Shebby Singh. We missed you last week, Shebs. And Ian, good to see you again, man.
Thanks a lot.
I tell you, great weekend of football. Some great football all around, but you got to start with the game at Old Trafford, where Man United defeated Arsenal by 2-1. Yeah. Shebs, I mean, the final result was, actually the opposite of what you predicted, right? But did United deserve all 3 points in the end?
First of all, thanks for the reminder. I got my prediction wrong again. But yes, I think they deserve it. Yes, we can talk about, the element of luck, but I will never ever know why Abu Dhabi was heading the ball towards his own goal. But on the whole, yes, Arsenal had a lot of possession. They played some very, very nice football. Big turning point for me was Robin Van Persie's shot saved by Foster. 2-0, I think would have been game over. I think would have been a bit of a thrashing for Man United. But again, I mean, on the whole, what made the difference, in my opinion, was the fact that Manchester United are battle hardened. They know what it takes. They know how to dig deep. They have got that in reserve. When they need to disrupt the opponent's game to impose themselves, they do that. So the know-how that Man United had meant that they won all 3 points.
Great. I mean, Ian, I'm sure you're a happy man, just like I am. But I mean,
I'm a relieved man. That's what I am.
But what for you, was key to overcoming Arsenal?
I think Fletcher was key to overcoming Arsenal. Fletcher was outstanding. He's developing a reputation to being a big game player. But I think over the course of the game, I probably think Arsenal should have got something out of it. Maybe a draw would have been a fair result. But I think we got
they did take the lead and all, right? I mean, but Shebs, moving on from Fletcher, I mean, it's not the first time Monsieur Arsene Wenger, has done this after his team has lost the football match, right? I mean, did you actually think United played anti-football?
To be honest, I don't think there was anything wrong in the game. I don't think the game was overly aggressive or that players applied themselves or went over the top. I think it was a typical English game. I mean, there were some very strong tackles. Of course, you have to do that. When you are down, you have to try to disrupt the opponent's flow. Likewise, if the opponents are down, they try to disrupt your flow, the flow of your game.
That, Arsenal do find it tough.
It is the tradition of the English game. It's the tradition of the English game. So I disagree with Arsene Wenger on that. I thought, I didn't think there was anything wrong with any of the challenges.
I think that's the difference between Wenger and Ferguson. Wenger knows how to play beautiful football, but Ferguson knows how to get results, knows how to win football matches. And that's
got to agree with you there. I mean, let's move on to the much talked about Liverpool and their come from behind performance at the Reebok Stadium. Shebs, I mean, before Bolton were down to 10 men, I tell you what, the Reds did struggle, right?
They struggled big time, and yes, again, it was man-to-man marking applied by Gary Maxson, and it worked until they had Sean Davies sent off, and then things changed. And obviously, playing with 10 men, it was always going to be difficult for Bolton. So as yet, I'm yet to be convinced by this Liverpool team.
I mean, Ian, you tend to agree about Liverpool? Quick one?
Oh, yeah. I thought they were really lucky with the sending off as well. The second yellow was a bit soft. I mean, some referees will let that go. But I thought it was really bad, especially Kyriakos at centre-back. He looked really, really edgy. He looked really nervous. So I think a lot of teams will take a lot of encouragement from that.
Okay, great stuff, guys. But I tell you what, it's time for our first break here in Football Everyday. But we'll be right back before you know it, so stay tuned. And you're back with us here on the second segment of Football Everyday. Just before the break, we were talking, of course, about the weekend's results. So let's move on to Chelsea very quickly. 3-0 over Burnley. Ian, was this kind of expected, right?
Yeah. Then again, I expected 3-0 Manchester United with Burnley as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Shebs, you impressed by Chelsea?
No.
Because it was Burnley, right?
I mean, they're a good side. I don't want to come across as sour grapes or what. I think yes, Ancelotti has had a wonderful start. let's see, 5 months from now,
right,
how they develop, how they improve when they play against a stronger opposition.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move on. To Shebby's beloved Spurs. He's a really happy man, I think, these past few weeks. Unlike last season, Shebs, I mean, they're really surprising everyone at the moment, and I think thanks to Aaron Lennon's last gasp strike again, they managed to win one more time. Have they done enough to impress you?
I think they have. They have been impressive. I think the brand of football is exciting. They've got the right players in the right positions, playing the right brand of football. And we could have seen on previous occasions, maybe they could have buckled, but there is a newfound resilience, and that is what Wilson Palacios has given Spurs, leading by example. So all in all, and we've got attacking options. Finally, there are options, and again, I think credit to Harry, because he's trying to develop a squad along the lines of 2 good players for every one position. Luka Modric is going to be a miss because of his injury. No surprise that Harry has gone out and signed Nico Kranjčar, who will fill in straight away. But I would love to see both of them in the same team, perhaps. So all in all, I mean, no complaints being a Spurs fan.
Yeah, I'm sure we all agree here in Football Every Day that Nico Kranjčar is probably the biggest signing in this transfer window. Ian, I mean, more importantly, do you think, in your opinion, can Spurs keep it up over the course of the season?
Oh, I think they can. I really think they can.
I mean, especially now that Modric is out.
Yeah, the squad looks pretty good, and they still have Genius waiting on the sidelines, don't they?
Yeah.
So they still have some good players. I think Crouch as well, and Pavlyuchenko is actually a decent footballer. He could play in a mid-table club, so it's a good backup to have. So with a squad of that size, except at the back, but even then when the players come back, start getting fit, and they have players like Chorluka that can fit in. So it's
I think the key is going to be the next 2 games, because we play Manchester United followed by Chelsea. I think these are the acid tests, so to speak. If we can come out of these with 3 points at least, then you will say that Spurs will be in contention somehow this season.
Great stuff. Okay, and I think while the BPL is our general focus, I'd just like to turn our attention for a bit to the other 2 big European leagues. Starting with the Serie A. Shebs, very quickly, Inter 4. AC Milan 0. I mean, in the derby, surely Inter have to be favourites again for the Scudetto.
They will be clear favourites. I don't think Milan will run them close. I think it will be, the threat will come from Juventus. And again, I mean, we all know AC Milan has had a horrible pre-season, and it's no surprise that they collapsed that badly.
And they've not signed a big name as well. I mean, we know Juventus won 3-1 at Roma as well, which I think Luciano Spalletti has left. Shebs, Juventus, closest competitors?
I think they will be. I think Ciro Ferrara has taken over from Ranieri. I think he's developing a good squad. He's looking to buy quality players as well. And the 2 Brazilians, one Brazilian playmaker in Diego and another Brazilian ball winner in Felipe Melo. I think that is going to be key. Of course, the likes of Del Piero is still around. So they have attacking options. So all in all, I think it's beginning to look very good for Ciro Ferrara.
You got a favourite Italian club, Ian?
Don't forget, AC Milan's still going to bring back David Beckham. that could change things up,
And fat boy Ronaldo as well.
You can't forget David Beckham and Ronaldo. Alright, the Spanish La Liga also got underway last weekend, and we saw opening victories for Real Madrid, Barcelona and Valencia. Ian, it looks like a tussle between the usual suspects, right? For the Spanish title.
Who else? Especially after what Real has gone and did in the summer. There's just nobody else to rival the big 2.
Right, but I got to ask Shebs this. I mean, while you mentioned Real, Ian, good point. The quality of their respective opponents might have differed in class a little, Shebs. But you've got to say that Real haven't really fixed their problems at the back, right? Look, I mean, they score once and they let in a goal. They score once and they let in a goal yet again.
Yeah, unfortunately, that has always been their Achilles. I don't know how they're going to sort that area out. Raul Albiol started. Yes, he is going to go on to become a good centre-back. I think they need somebody like Christoph Metzelder or Pepe in there to steady that area. I think Xabi Alonso must have realised that he had more work to do than he would have when he was playing for Liverpool. So all in all, again, this Real team will outscore their opponents. That's their strength.
But you still rate Barca as a more solid outfit?
I would say Barcelona will be favourites. I'm not sure if Zlatan Ibrahimovic is going to score as many goals as Samuel Eto'o, or he's going to be as effective as Samuel Eto'o. I don't think so.
Alright, great stuff, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll see you very soon. It is time for our final break here on Football Every Day. We'll be right back, so please keep it locked on. And you're back with us here on the third and final segment of today's episode of Football Every Day. It's time now to take a look at some of the weekend's fixtures, but only thing is, there's no DPL this weekend as it's the international break with World Cup qualifiers taking place, and there are a couple of crucial and eye-catching matchups. Let's start, of course, where else but England versus Croatia. Shebs, I mean, what are you expecting from this?
It'll be interesting to see what kind of tactics that Capello plays, because he needs a draw to qualify for the World Cup.
Right.
Will the Italian in him come out and say, look, this is the minimum required. Let's go out there and get it. I think they are playing Croatia now at a wrong time. I think the Croatians, yes, in the previous game when they lost 4-1 in Zagreb, they had injuries, they were off form. I don't think the discipline was the best. But I think this time around, yes, apart from Luka Modric, Bilic has got the team his strongest team, so to speak, and there are plenty of options there as well. So I'm going to go with the fact that I think Capello will go out there and get the draw.
And they are at home.
They are at home.
I mean, Ian, score prediction?
I think England would tip this. I think it'll be like maybe 2-1, 3-2, because there are quite a lot of England players on fire at the moment, especially the attacking players. Rooney is playing really well. Defoe is banging the goals for Spurs, especially the other players from Spurs like Aaron Lennon, Huddleston. They're all playing really well, and Defoe in particular. So I think they might just be too much going forward.
Okay, so let's see. Make sure to catch it this weekend. Another eye-catching match takes place in South America, where Diego Maradona's Argentina play host to arch rivals Brazil. Shebs, this is going to be closely fought. I mean, as usual, right? Most of the time it is.
I think
between these two.
I think, if Argentina don't win this game, I think the knives could be out for Maradona. I think, this game, there's a lot riding on this game, especially for Maradona. I think, he's upset a few people, but, against Brazil, at home, if you don't win, that means you are really, really going to ask for a lot of trouble. I wish that Maradona would make peace with Riquelme, because I still rate Riquelme as one of the best playmakers in the world. I don't care about what people say, what he doesn't do when he doesn't have the ball. He doesn't need to. You can have your Gagos, your Mascherano's protecting him. You want him for his creative talent. But Maradona thinks otherwise. I don't think Maradona would have faced as much pressure ever before in his career as he is in this game against Brazil.
Right, I mean, so Brazil currently top the group, with a 5-point lead over 4th place Argentina. So, very quickly, Shebs, can the Argies beat Brazil this weekend?
Oh, I'm going to go with yes. I think somehow the gods will smile on Diego Maradona.
I hope so.
I'm
an Argentina fan, in case you didn't know. Argentina to beat Brazil?
Oh, it's so hard to say. It's really hard to give a prediction, because Brazil have been playing so well in the Confederations Cup. They played really well, so it's really hard to say.
Great stuff, but it is time to get into our email of the week, right? And it's from Jason Lim, who comes from Sri Petaling. Well, guys, he basically feels that something should be done to ensure a consistency is there, in coming down hard on diving and simulation in the game. Shebs, he's got a point, surely. I mean, you look at Eduardo, we know he's just been hit with a 2-match ban. And many quarters are saying that Wayne Rooney dived as well, went down rather easily as well, against Arsenal. Shebs, your take?
I think, leave it to the referees. We always complain about the referees, but, you cannot undermine the decisions of the referees. The referee gives it as he sees it. He saw a foul on Eduardo go down, he gave a penalty.
Right.
You cannot question all the referees' decisions, because you are really just going to open a whole can of worms. I think the human element, everybody likes to say referees are only human, so let them be human. It's a human error. Let's get on with it. Diving, I mean, you know who are the players who will dive. You come down hard on that kind of players to make an example, but you don't try to create a situation, because I think a situation has been created.
Right.
I don't think it's healthy for the game.
You agree with Shebs? Yeah.
Yeah, something needs to be done about diving, but whether this is the best possible way, we're not sure. Because you might be setting a very dangerous precedent where everybody starts to question, to say, oh, can we have retrospective action on this or on that? So there has to be a very clear line drawn on that. Like, are we going to start taking away goals? Are we start chalking off goals if they were offside?
No, the thing is, Ian, it was a dive because of video technology, because they've replayed the incident over and over again. But hey, aren't FIFA and UEFA you know, against video technology. So why do you apply it when it suits you and you don't apply it when it suits the game?
Right. Many thanks for the email, Jason. You know, congratulations as well, because you've picked up a prize courtesy of Adidas. We'll be in touch soon with prize collection details. In the meantime, if you'd like to be like Jason and write into us, please do so at football@thestar.com.my. Just before we go, it's time for, of course, Football Everyday's fun fact. All right. And this week it's about the manager making the most news of late. You know, Mr. Arsene Wenger himself. Did you know, guys, that as much as Arsenal's most successful manager, you know, moans and groans, right? He actually holds a degree in, get this, electrical engineering and a master's degree in economics. Deep stuff, man.
Yeah. He does talk about economics a whole lot, so I thought that, you can tell he's a smart guy.
I think he's done wonders with football, especially with Arsenal. I think I love Arsene Wenger's footballing philosophy. I think he's just top, man.
All right, great stuff, guys. Pleasure as always. That about wraps up this week's edition of Football Everyday. So, Sheps, Ian, great having you around as always. We'll see you next week. Nelson here, wishing you a great weekend of international football ahead, and it's ciao from us on Football Everyday.